Hey, welcome to my channel. I don't know how you got here, but I do hope that you'll stay until the end of this video because in this particular video, we're going to work on a condominium studio unit here in the Philippines that I have been commissioned for. Yeah, so we're actually almost done for the most part. Let's go ahead and get out here. Let's move some things around again. That way I can see what I'm doing. Um, Oops, too much. There we go. Just like that. All right, all right, all right. So, uh, today I finished all of the cabinets along this wall. So all of that ready for uh, being passed to a contractor for quotation. There's nothing else I really need to do here. But on this end, that's a whole different story. So let's go ahead and actually we're gonna hide this for now. Hide, okay. Let's start with the bed. Let's make a finished bed already, shall we? Let's just get it out of there so we don't have that many walls in the way. So last time I actually stretched this out, which is like something that I don't really approve of doing because what happens is the dimensions of the width get all discombobulated and stuff like that. So we're gonna redo the whole thing right now. Bam, right there. Make that into a group. Bam. Then we're going to copy it. Bam, bam, bam. All right, no problem. Then we're going to take them, move it out, 500. Right. Then we're going to go ahead and fix that up right here. Last time I made the wood too yellow, so it's not supposed to be that yellow. There's still a hint of brown to it. Something more like that, I think. I think that's more what bleached wood looks like. Man. Maybe a bit darker? No, that's too dark. It's too bright. Too bright. I don't really have a good visual idea in my head. But I'm pretty sure it's more like that. It should be something more like that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stick with that for now. If I feel it's wrong, I'll change it later on. Anyway, moving forward. So we have these here. Next thing we need is the bed frame. So let's go ahead and make the bed frame. So this is still gonna be 2x2s. Bam. Okay, move it. There we go. Make that into a group. Next, that stink here. So we have that bed frame. And we also need a frame on the ground. Let's go with this one. Or maybe we want to go lengthwise. So, why is it whenever I start recording, it feels like something is in my nose? What the hell? Let's move this by 500. 500. And we're going to move this one by 1,000. 1,000. Oh, sorry. There. 3,500 plus 1,000 plus 500 is 5,000. That's right. Okay, let's move this one. Let's go here. 2x. Yeah, okay. And let's move this one. 2x, correct, right? So there, now we got that one. Next, you know what? I want to make this completely supported. 600, so we want to do... Man, what the hell is with my nose? I can't... It's annoying me. Let's do 150, 300, 3x. Something like that. Yeah, evenly spaced. 150, 150. And right here, 150. You know, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting actually, because when I'm when I'm alone in the office, I'm a bit more whatchamacallit, relaxed. So I'd probably just get up and go to a mirror and see what the hell is up with my nose. But um, you know what? Actually, I think I should do that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I hate being human. No, being human is good. There's a lot of things about our bodies that are just imperfect that we have to work on every day. But what can you do? Anyway, hopefully that solves my whole nose problem. Now I have a new problem. Let's see here. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that 4 times. So I didn't consider that we actually messed with the width, and that made the thickness of the outer pieces too thick, or yeah, too thick. So I had to readjust the size. So that's why we have a bit of a discrepancy here. There we go. But I fixed it. Next, let's go ahead and make the long piece here. And we're going to make that 2 inches also. So we're just using 2x2s here. Is there a way to make, use less 2x2s? Of course there is. You just have to have metal. But if they're going to use wood, then I would suggest 2x2s just to be completely safe. But you don't even have to use 2x2s. The only reason we're using 2x2s in this instance is because they're easier to come across. But they have a... If you've ever actually torn apart your sofa or fixed bed or something like that, you'll see that these are actually wood planks, and they're about like 4 inches by 3/4, and they're just spread out. And I think they call it ribbing. I'm not quite sure. The ribs. Furniture isn't really my forte though, so like the terminologies, I suppose. But I do create furniture or design furniture. I just don't actually build furniture myself. Like I said, I'd rather not have my own construction crew, carpenter crew, painting crew, whatever. I just enjoy designing, so I'll leave that to them. I don't know why this thing is up here. Okay. So we have that. Okay. And actually this one here, let's just kind of move it up here. Well, actually, let's just put 2 more pieces. Or you know what? Delete that. Let's just make 3/4, 3/4 woods. Bam. Push that. 10. Pull it back. 10. So that's 3/4. Make that into a group. Bam. Okay. Um, next, we're gonna move one more here on the other side. Bam. Yeah, that's probably easier to do. And then we're gonna have a piece here. We'll make this by 100 or 50 is fine. Just enough to block it. Push that by 20. So this is another 3/4. It doesn't actually have to be the whole, you know, uh, length, but I'll leave that up to the contractor. Like you can just have two on the ends. You know what? Let's just make it easier on the contractor because they might not think of a better solution. I mean, sometimes we have what's called in architecture um, by design and by specification. So, for example, if I design this bed and I don't really give them the working drawings, that's called by. When the contractor starts building it, they have to build it by design. So what they see as design, they have to mimic it using their own wet methods. When we say by specification, when we give it to a contractor, everything is complete already, and the contractor simply has to follow what's on the paper, or what's on the file. Um, a lot of times, I would just prefer, how would I say? I would just prefer that they just do it by design. But the problem is, uh, sometimes they just I don't know how to say it in a nice way. But that's not to say that all contractors are like that. It really depends on the quality that they're willing to give for you. You know what? I made another mistake. Let's make it easier on myself. Um, there. And actually, this isn't easier. It would have been easier to do it this way. Yeah, just like that. Bam. And we'll delete those. Check underneath to make sure that it didn't delete the face down here. Yeah, so that face is okay. So the purpose of this is just to catch the plank. That's going to be the door. Okay. Then copy that over here. Bam. Perfect. Okay, next we're going to make the cabinet doors here. 20. Make group. Usually, I mean, it kind of depends when you get a contractor. I mean, if you're having things built and you get a contractor, um, you should really pay attention to their reputation because a lot of like in any business, all they want to do is sell themselves. So really, you have to be as safe as possible. Um, and that goes double for like these kind of projects, like construction, because this is the kind of thing that you have to live with. Like if you're gonna have your house built, then I would advise that you actually take the time to research about your contractor. Don't be complacent in like this is one reason why I don't like the idea of architects providing their own contractors and stuff because it's kind of complacent and if something wrong happens during the construction, you can't really you can't really blame the architect for hiring their own people to do the job, right? That's kind of on you because just like you kind of gave them full authority to do that. Although they might hire like so for example, they'll have their own workers. What happens is the work they do is not that good, but all the money goes to the architect. So it's kind of like you kind of have to know your architect well enough to have that kind of faith in them. Um, and personally, I also don't like to do it because even like it's no joke. So I even have like Okay, I'm not. I don't want to be like completely mean about it, but I'm just gonna be honest. I have family that really seek out to abuse, you know, abuse their relationships with people just so they can get what they want. It's like a recent project. Like I backed out of a recent project because, firstly, they kept like demanding so much, They demanded so much from me, and then they always like compared my work to the work of somebody else, which is like, don't do that. If you want the work of somebody else, go to that somebody else. But the reason they didn't go to that somebody else is because they didn't want to pay that much, so they went to me. And every time I did something, they complained about the price, and it's like, I don't want to, it's not worth it. I don't want to stress out about, I don't want you to guilt trip me just like, oh, but we're family, we're family. If we're family, then why don't you pay me the actual price? Um, and every time I did like, because our agreement was by design, not by specification. So a lot of the work I did was simply by they would hire their own contractor, and they would follow my works by design. And you know, they it's hard, they always complain about the price, and it's like I was if we're gonna be honest, I was giving them more than 50%. More than 50% discount. For that kind of price, you should just allow me to do whatever I want and you should shut the hell up, to be honest. You don't have a right to complain about my design or anything because you're paying you're paying super discount and I'm giving you 100% effort. It's not like I'm designing garbage. Even when I give discounts, I still put my full heart into whatever I do. And for me to give 50% off and for them to keep trash talking me is like, okay, just find somebody else. I don't want to deal with it. Like, and the worst part is, uh, they compared my work to the work of like very generic, overhyped. Uh, I mean, I know I mentioned before, like, I don't really want to critique other works because I'd be a bit mean, a bit harsh. But at the same time, I'd also be very honest about their works. And there's a lot of I don't know how to put it, but there's a lot of work that's just like showing off. Like there's no actual heart in it. It's just, as many lines and as many curves as possible, and you call that architecture. But that's not the case. It's not like there's no heart in that. It's just a bunch of like uh, it's kind of like when a person uses a bunch of fancy words in order to win a crowd. But in the end of the day, it's like they don't really know what they're saying. They're just kind of taking advantage of the fact that like, oh, I can use these kind of words that they don't understand, and they'll eat it up. Like I can use those kind of words too. If I talk about this, well, the magnificence of the asylum boards using the approximations of the 2 by 2 wood planks are timber wood using S2S or 2S S2S, yeah. You know, when you use those kind of words, it's not it's not necessary. This is just some like tips for people that present as well. You don't need to know big words to impress your client. Okay. I think clients, well, yeah, sometimes you do, but I think the best clients are the clients that, they just want the facts. They just want what they need. They know what they need. They know what they want. Because when you have clients that are just like, just trying to prove how much money they have or something, then I don't know. I remember, now I'm going into the realm of trash talk, but I started it. Might as well finish with it. I remember back then, like when I was studying, there was this particular house that was built, not by me, but or designed, and uh, what this was while I was studying. So, and I happen to know these people. Why does this not match up? And they kept like showing me pictures of it and stuff, and it was a very big house. I can say, okay, that's interesting. It's really big, very expensive. And then, so like I said, I'm based here in the Philippines. They made it a point to point out that, the windows were imported from Germany, and this wood was imported from here, these tiles were imported from there. And then they also made it a point to like talk about how big it was, and but it just looked like a mess to me. And then the worst part is the exterior of the house looked like a typical Mediterranean house with modern style concepts. So imagine you have this house that looks like a normal, not even a good house. It just looks like a giant box. And you wasted all that money putting in all of these imported stuff. Like, okay, everything's imported, but your house doesn't look like a house. It doesn't even feel like a house. It just feels like a museum of expensive things. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it because it's a very deep rabbit hole. All I'm trying to say is you don't, I mean, if you need that to prove how good of an architect you are, then maybe you're not really a good architect. I mean, another thing like people in my field always like share is like how many projects they have. And, like I don't really care. Like they're always showing off like, "Oh, I've had 20 projects this year." And then, you look at all those projects and it's like, "Okay, you've had 20 projects and all of them are shit. So, I don't know why you're bragging so much, but okay, I'll entertain you." And that's the truth about it, like it's not about how many projects you have in a year, okay? It's not about how many things you finish or whatever. What matters is which one of those has the most impact on people. When you look at it, how does it, define you as a person? And if your work is just simply, you have 20 projects in a year, okay. So how much time do you spend on each of those projects? You know what I mean? This particular project, to be honest, if I didn't have a job, I could have probably finished this project within a week, no problem. But that's kind of the compromise that you have to understand is like for this project, I gave a decent discount, like a really decent discount, super duper decent discount. And I can't emphasize that word enough because I gave a good discount, to be honest. So the good news is they don't complain to me because first of all, they got a discount. Second of all, I'm giving them A plus work. I'm not just giving them rushed work. I'm actually putting in the effort to make this like a feasible project. So as you can see here, like this is detail. So the bad side to it is I've been working on it for more than 2 months. Granted, one of those months was because my laptop broke, and I had to get it repaired first. But nonetheless, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's kind of stressful for the client. And I understand that a lot. I mean, I understand that wholly. That's why I still feel like that guilt, like, I wish I could do this faster for them. But, there's a lot of things that are out of my hands. And that's why I also don't believe in like time management because there's a lot of things that we can't control in life. But on the plus side, they save money because they don't have to pay, you know, that much. One moment, 50. So instead of paying like for this project alone, it's about 18 square meters. Let's say that I would have to charge about 3,000 per square meter. Yeah, something like that. But I'll finish it in a week, right? That's the upside to it. The downside to it is, you know, you have to pay more, and you have to realize that that's the truth of the matter. If you're not willing to pay, then you don't have a right to complain, because who do you think you are? I know, like, a lot of people might not enjoy that um, concept, but that's reality, you know. One moment, let me get this out of here first. My point is, know your worth. To all the architecture would-be's out there, I mean, it's fine if you want to, if you just want to be one of those architects with 20 projects a year, that's fine. But you have to understand that if somebody's going to be like talking bad about your project, then you should just be like, well, I made it in less than I made it in less than a month, so I didn't put any heart into it. I just wanted to finish the project so I can work on my next project. You know, that's the kind of architect you're getting. You're also probably not going to pay as much. Like if you're a client with that kind of architect, you probably won't be paying that much to an architect that, has 20 projects in a year, to be honest, unless they actually have an architectural firm. In that case, you shouldn't even, I don't even know why you're, you know, why you're dealing with the firm, or why you think that your architect is actually going to have any real input into what they're making, because they have a staff that does the most of the work. When I was working in a small firm, so I've worked in two small firms before, I really hated it because for one of those firms, the lead architect, I'll give them credit. Uh, they did design the exterior of the building, but everything inside the building, that was me, fam. For the next one that I worked for the next small architecture firm that I worked for, now these guys kind of just relied on me to design everything, and then they would put in their own input after the fact that I've already put in all the work. And it's kind of annoying at times because after rejecting my work, they won't even let me keep my work, you know. So on both ends of the spectrum. So one, we have the architect that they did design the building, so props to that. But they didn't really have that much input throughout the whole building. The other end of the spectrum, they only came in near the end, and that's kind of what you have to live with. Like, that's why you should really respect an architect that comes from like humble beginnings, because at least, um, they lived with that kind of, like, I myself lived with that kind of lifestyle for a couple years, and it was horrible. Flip along, groups red. Oops, wrong. Group screen. Flip along, group screen. There we go. It was a really stressful time in life. Like, I'm creating all of these things that I find interesting, but I'm not allowed to take credit for it. And then on the other side, I have, I'm doing all the work of the inside of the building, and both times severely underpaid. Um, I have friends that are in different professions. Um, And the idea of payment, like even in like the field of architecture, you're most of the time, oh man, this didn't work. Most of the time, it's a really ungrateful world when you're in the world of, or it's a really ungrateful, um, how do I say? You don't really get much respect in the architecture world unless you're the person with money. I'm not that person. That's one of the reasons I don't really care so much about money because I don't ever want to be like those people. Like I see those people and they're just they make me sick. Like yeah, I don't know. But also I'm not poor, so that's an upside. I kind of have financial problems, but I managed to make it through. But like if you don't have well connections in architecture in the field of architecture, it's very unlikely that you'll get a decent project. And even if you do have connections, it's very unlikely that you'll get a decent client. That's pretty much the sad part about it. Um, One moment. I'm gonna make these 3 inches actually. Let me pull this out again. Yeah, that's the sad part about it. Um, all my clients before, like just to get, just to make money, I'd accept a lot of projects that I really didn't enjoy working on. And it just, it was just a horrible experience, man. I'm telling you, it's like, I don't know. Um, but these days, it's the best experience to have a client that's just like me. If I have a client once a year, or maybe because this year alone I've had 4 clients, whereas in other years I was still studying, working my ass off for other construction firms and architecture firms, which didn't really care for my time, and they didn't even pay me enough. They didn't barely paid me overtime, and it was a struggle. And I'm just taking on clients as they come, and it was really a mistake, because I think in the end of the day, I ended up losing more than I gained just because I kept taking random clients. Just because on the idea that they would, uh, you know, get me again in the future. Um, and yeah, some of them did come back after a while, but just remembering how toxic they were working for, it wasn't worth even considering going back to them. So nowadays, so that time, I'd probably have like, seems like 8 clients in a year. That's with doing everything else that I had to do and like having minimal support from the world. Like, it's hard to explain how little support I had during those times. But these days, I really just choose my clients, even if I don't make enough money. Like before, I did make a decent amount of money, and I was able to buy things that I would never be able to use as much as I wanted to. So, yeah, these days I can't really buy as much as I used to buy. Like before, I just, ugh, I spent like crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was not, like, I'm good with money. Like, I know how to handle it, but I just spent money on stupid things because I was bored. And I guess it's just a lesson in life. And especially since like, if you're depressed, you shouldn't hide it. I don't think it's a good thing. I was very depressed a lot of times. So spending money kind of just eased the depression, but it didn't really solve anything. Um, and yeah, it was very it was a very interesting experience nonetheless. Uh, Also, you make a lot of fake friends, or I made a lot of fake friends during that time. Like, I don't know, it's like they don't remember the good things you did for them, but they do remember they do remember the good things when they want to do something fun. But after that time passes, it's like they're gone. And I could see past it, but I was just too freaking depressed to deal with it. So I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. A lot of things was going on in my life, especially like I said, I was just supporting myself. So I was just trying to find ways to get by. But nevertheless, it's a interesting life I've lived. I have a lot of stories in life, let's say. And I think that's also a good thing because, there's like all these people, like all the people around me would always brag about how much traveling they do, but they don't even have any life stories. It's like, okay, you travel everywhere and you don't have one single life story. Are you sure that you actually traveled? Um, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it's like if you're one of those people that just travels and travels and then you brag about how much you travel, but then you don't really have a story about anything. Like you don't have any interesting story, then I think it's time to, you know, do some self-reflecting. Like, have I really traveled anywhere? Have I really done anything? Or did I just take pictures all the time? Did I really live? No. Um, 1 minute, guys. I'm just looking for something. Mm, I'm not really talking too much about the design on this video because uh, you guys already know the design with all your heart because I've been explaining it through the whole time. The whole time I've been working on it, I've been explaining it. And um, there's not really much more to explain. All I'm doing right now is finishing it off. And everything always disappears when I need it. Here. Okay. My nose is still itching, but okay, whatever. So let's just have some heart to heart. Oh no. What happened? There we go. So here we are. Taking a while to load. Here we go. Still taking a while to load. Okay. Take your time. Okay, got it. Finally. Let's go back to our main. Where'd it go? So if you guys use SketchUp, the one of the major problems you'll find with SketchUp is that the files are extremely heavy as compared to with CAD and Revit. Um, Revit, of course, is also kind of heavy, but um, more on the software aspect. So if like you've used Reddit, then you probably have a pretty decent laptop or computer to say the least. Um, the good thing about SketchUp is the freedom it gives you, which is why I really enjoy SketchUp more because as you can see, doing all of these tedious things on Revit, no way. I would not bother even trying because, and that's the thing about Revit is it's so rigid that it kind of traps you, you know. Like you have this idea that it's easier, but it's only easier if you're like if you're in a if you're in a firm because what happens in the firm is um, you deal with all of the aspects of the building. But if you're like me and you're not really dealing with the electrical, the mechanical, uh, the civil stuff like that, then Revit isn't really necessary. So let me just get this over here first. 1 moment. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so as I was saying, Revit isn't really that necessary. Revit is just overkill for guys like me. Let's go ahead and try to close this up. I do still use CAD though. And you know what? I think I wanna, sorry, flip these around. I do still use CAD. I find CAD useful. Okay, this isn't working for me, but I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. CAD is useful for like detailed construction drawings, which you can also do in SketchUp. But Revit, not, I mean, the few instances that I've used Revit, I always just get irritated at the end because there's so many things I want to do, but I can't do it because, like for Revit, the windows are, they already have the models in there. They already have the models for the doors. They have the models for the stairs. And although you can create your own stairs, your own windows, your own doors, your own anything, it's too freaking stressful to do. That's why I feel like a lot of for like especially I'm back. Okay, freaking system crashed on me. Damn it. At least I can still continue my work, so that's good. Um, I lost my train of thought earlier. Something about softwares, I believe. Whatever. Um, let's not get into it. Let's just continue what I was working on. So some of the things disappeared. Yeah, but fortunately the bed is still here. That's the one we did the most work on at the moment. So okay, that's good. The curtain disappeared, so we'll just get the curtain again. Okay, and put it back in here. Come on, where are you? Come on. There you go. I mostly work with native tools when I use SketchUp. So yeah, native tools basically means I don't use plugins. If you do use plugins, that's fine. It's not really the tools that matter. It's how you use them. 05. So don't feel bad if you have to, if you have to use plugins just to do certain things, because that's not really what matters. What matters is how well you're able to share your ideas. Um, so like that, like I was saying earlier, about software and stuff like that. It's not really, it doesn't really matter. What matters is how proficient you are in using the software that you prefer to use. And I just happen to be quite proficient in using SketchUp. And I do use CAD for like more difficult things, or not difficult things, for more detailed things. And Revit, uh, it's just too rigid for me, and I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't enjoy using it, to be honest, compared to using SketchUp, where I can like have this much freedom to do all these things. So, but I believe that Revit is more for like teams where you're working with all the engineers and all the other designers because it makes everything easier to do in real time, you know. And if something gets affected, everybody sees it. Like you see the ducting gets affected, you see the piping gets affected, and everything you move. Um, but if you're like a really, like, I don't mean to say that you're not a good architect if you don't catch these things, but if you're like really invested in your project, then you would be able to know that these certain things will be affected when you move, like certain walls. Like if you change the thickness of a certain wall, if you change the height of a ceiling, if you change the placement of a certain cabinet, then if you've really invested yourself in a project, then you would be able to know that certain things are affected without um, having to rely on software. And that's the kind of architect I strive to be. And it's not for everybody. It still depends. It's to each their own, as they say. Mm, so here, kind of have a lot of things going on now. Okay. So this is the thing that's kind of in the way now, this divider here. How will we make the cabinets work here? That is the question. And I'm guessing we can just make them sliding doors, which I think the client would prefer. So we're gonna move this. That's why I didn't really enlarge this piece here. That way we'll have a bit of space here. How much space is it? 230. That's a decent amount of space. 230. So once again, we're going to work on this here. Let's go ahead and make this 20. Push this in. Bam. And this one here, we'll raise it by 100. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now we have space between here, and I think that'll be fine. That way they'll still have access to these cabinets on this side. And these can just all be sliding doors. And I'm having a lot of technical issues going on here. Damn. Anyway. So here, let's start with, what should we start with? Sliding doors, sliding doors. We'll start with the material. Let's push this up here. Yeah. I'm thinking if we're going to make this all this kind of wood, bleached wood, or if we're going to make it a Dooku finish. And I think it's better if we go with the Dooku finish, actually. Come on, stop giving technical difficulties. We don't want to put glass, but we'll see what happens. Okay. My nose. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just make it into the bleached wood. So this one, let's go ahead and make that into a group. Okay, make that into a group. Go over here on the other end. Right, that. And right here on the bottom, we'll also go with the bleached wood. Make that into a group, okay? We can remove this now. And let's go ahead and fill these in. Just like that, okay? Then let's make the fascia down here. bleached wood, make that into a group. Okay. And we need the backing. Okay. Bam. Oops. Stuck again. Come on. Get out of there. Bam. Okay. Go ahead and make that bleached wood as well. Make that into a group. Right. Nice. So sliding doors take up more space. For some reason, I'm having a lot of technical difficulties here. Sliding windows take up a lot more space than just regular swing doors, which is why for the other items I just went with the swing, the awning, because they take up less space and we need all the space we can get. And it doesn't seem like a lot of space until you start putting things in here. So for sliding doors, we want to have at least 1.5 to 2 inches. For the sliding tracks. So we're going to go ahead and make these Duco finishes. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way first. Yeah, I forgot to put shelves inside. Let's go inside here, move it up. Or wait, sorry. Oh my gosh, technical freaking difficulties. Stop giving me technical difficulties, just please. Please. Okay, we're gonna put 3 shelves there. I don't know why I moved this out here, but let's just redo that. This one, so like I said, let's move it in 75. So we lost 75 inches. 75. Because we need we need space for the sliding track and the doors to move back and forth. Next, oh no. Okay, let's go ahead and put door number 1. This will be Duco finish, and we'll have door number 2, which will also be Duco finish. Now, the thing about this is we have to extend this a bit. That way when they overlap, we can, like, if one of them is behind the other, we can pull it out. And plus, it's better that they overlap just for functional purposes. So, actually, I made a mistake here. Let's extend that by 10, and we'll move this back by 15. Okay, that's better. And we'll move this one in the back. We'll move it by 25. Okay, good. We'll move these back by 10. Bam. Perfect. Okay, I'm having a lot of technical difficulties on the other end here. Okay, so there we have it. It's complete. These I was saying that we should make them rope, but now that I think about it, since it's too close to the bed, the shelves might get rocked and everything that's on the shelves might get, fall over. So we'll just make them into like maybe painted rebar or smooth bars. But something rigid basically. That way they won't move so much. Okay. But anyway, we have a finished product. So this is it, guys. This is basically everything. For the sofa chair, we're not going to change anything really. It is good as it is. It does take up a lot of space, but hopefully the contractor will be able to deal with this. I mean, they should be able to make this happen. It's not like it's super difficult. Now what else can we do here though to make it more smooth? Oh, that's right, I forgot. Let's pull this back again. Oops, sorry. Okay. So what holds these pieces together is the face, all right, and this backing here. So that means this is like supposedly rigid, but nothing is holding these pieces back here together. So we have to fix that problem. Let me see here. I'm getting like a lot of errors here. Sorry, I'm kind of multitasking, but I'm gonna have to close this because it's getting ridiculous. I don't understand computers these days, you know. They should be able to figure out how to heal themselves at this point, I think. Let me see. So how is this gonna work? So here in the back, it's quite simple. We just need something to hold these pieces together, right? But here in the front, everything is perfectly and neatly, you know, in front of each other. So how do we do this now? I think the best way is to kind of just do this. One moment. Okay, this needs to move over. This is the best way, I think. Oops, sorry. There, everything's interlocking. How wide does that make it? 1,450. So it's a bit smaller. Maybe we can extend it a bit. Let's move it out of there first. Okay. Let's take a closer look at you. Oh, there's still more space here. Bam. How big is it now? 1,500. That's good. 1,600. That's also good. This one, I'm just gonna make it white, which it doesn't want to do. Okay. There. My next problem is, how does it move? How does it move out? Got all the interlockingness. So this right here is 100. Let's think. Think. I want to have like some sort of ball bearings underneath here, but like I think it has to be at least 2 inches. Which I think would be strong enough. So these are all there. Let's make all of these unique. Make unique, there we go. Now, all of them don't need ball bearings. Just a select few. What's the height of this again? It's 350. Mm-hmm. $350, huh? Let me think. 350. And I need at least 2 inches. 75. Right. Okay, I have an idea. Is it a good idea? Not quite sure yet, but we'll figure it out. Raise that one up. So that's that. Okay, raise these up. Bam, just like that. No, sorry, we need to raise this first. Or no, we don't actually. So this is where it becomes a bit stressful. All of these are interlocking. Move this up as well. So yes, we do need to move this up. Okay. Check. think we can give like some of them wheels. Oh, sorry. Okay, 25. Make that into a group. Okay. I think though it's close enough to the main source that we don't need to do that. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of brainstorming right now. Just I can't really think when I'm using my brain at its maximum potential. Okay, let's try this first. What I should have done is put it inside. Yeah, just like that. Okay. No, that's not a good idea. Let me do that again. Okay. Something like this, perhaps. Of course, these wheels are attached to the bottom of that, but I just didn't show it properly. Yeah, I think this is how it's gonna work. Oops, a lot of stuff going on here. Ugh. Oh, what happened? No, 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 no. Close that. Uh-huh. Okay, I think this will work actually. So now it has wheels that support it. And we can move it in and out. And then what happens is when it's fully extended out here, we'll just have locks here at the end of it that will keep it in place. Simple. Perfect. I think this will do fine. Bam. Excuse me. Okay, next thing we have to do is move around some of these outlets. The outlets in the kitchen are all fine. Nothing really got interrupted here, so we're just gonna leave that as is. And then the other stuff here. Oh, let's put a curtain over here, by the way. Come on. Load, load, load. There we go. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Bam. Let's move it, move it, move it. Way over here. Let's make it this proper scale. I keep getting interrupted by the walls. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay, up here. So we want 0.90, I guess. And where's the bottom? Yeah. 0.4. Okay. We'll move it a bit here. 25 and move it up again. 25. There we go. All right. That looks not so bad, right? Looks pretty damn good if you ask me. View hidden geometry. Blah 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 blah. Make group and move it. Oh, I should unhide it first. Unhide. Why is it still hidden? There we go. It's still hidden. I don't understand what's going on. What the hell? What? Unhide. Yeah, unhide everything. What the hell? Unhide it all. Unhide the wall. Yeah, there we go. Move it back to place. Go back to scene 1. Bam. See? Looks quite good, right? Oh, there's something I forgot to add here. The lights. Damn it. Whew. Okay, so here in the kitchen, I'm not sure how many more lights we can add because I'm not quite sure if this is the finished ceiling line already because this is how it is at site. This portion right here. Here in the living area, here I'm gonna add a plate. Oops, shoot, sorry. Come on. Let's see, let's go by 50, no, 100. Then let's move it in. 90, I suppose, is fine. Get this out, move it down by 25, that's fine. Come on, come on. Okay, let's get this color here. There we go, make that into a group. Go back to scene 1, see how it looks. Yeah, that looks fine. And then we'll have a few pin lights. I can't see anything. Let's move this wall first. Okay. So from this point, let's delete this here. Right here. Delete that. Or you know what? Not all of it. I kind of need to see what's going on though. Oh, what the hell? Just delete it. I don't want to waste my energy. So this is the center of everything, right? Let's go out here, 750. Now let's make it 1000. Is that fine? Maybe here? Better? Yeah. 550. 1100. That's too close to the wall. Is it too close to the wall? Feels too close to the wall. Let's see here. That's too big. Just make them small, small, small. Small little panel lights. Okay, I'm not completely sure about these lights yet, so we're just gonna make them semi. Yeah, just like that. And then over here in the bedroom, let's go with, I don't know, 450. Okay. I'm sorry. Hmm. $190. Bam, something like this perhaps. How far is this? Just talking to myself now. Sorry, guys. Um, yeah, this is me in like super serious mode. Come on. I don't know. It's not catching. 600. Ah, let me move this 50, maybe 25. This one also 25. Not completely in the center. And then these will move another 50. Same with the ones over here. 50. Okay. Let's go here into the kitchen, see how it looks. Delete that. Okay. Move these over by 100. Yeah. Move these over by 100. Okay. Okay. Let's go here in the kitchen. See how it looks. I think that's fine. I mean, if you ask me, that's fine. It has a very nice balance to it, I feel. Yeah, that looks good. Over here, over there, everywhere. I think this is good, guys. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm feeling it. I feel like this is a complete package right here. Let's open this up so they know. Bam. Sliding. Let's open it a bit more. Okay, and this one, let's move it just 100. Bam. Perfect. Let's go over here into the bedroom. Get our trusty eyeball out. Yeah, look at all that space, man. Let's move. Oops, sorry. Yeah, this looks pretty damn good, I think. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. Let me add the scene here. So all of the details are already complete. Everything is functional, everything works fine. Everything has been placed. The walls, they can put photographs and such whatnot. And yeah, it's very complete, I feel. So the only thing that's missing, of course, mattresses. Oh, this table right here, I have to fix this first. Excuse me. So last time I had trouble with this table. What I forgot was there's nothing holding this in place. So we're gonna have to kind of create a balance for it. And I came up with a solution for that. Okay. Man. Gonna go here. Okay. Up by how much? 50? Yeah. Sorry. Make that into a group. Okay, move it up. Move it down. Oh, sorry. Move it up again. Bam. And we'll get one of these here. Oh, why did it get outside? Oh, you jerk. Don't tell me you're outside. Okay. Yeah, we'll get this one here. Put it here. Ah, where is it? Darn. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Where is it? I can't find it. It's eluding me. Ah, I had it. Where'd it go? Shoot. Let's just move it up here first. Where is it? Where the hell is it? There, okay. There, that will hold it in place. Bam. Perfect. Move it back. Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3. Okay, so now I just have to give these to the contractor. We can get to work. Save, 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 because I'm paranoid. Okay, guys, we're gonna call it a day. I've been stressing out because I'm multitasking here. Got a lot of things to do. Got a lot of things to finish here. Then my other software is like crashing on me. But yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. The next thing we're gonna do is like the next part of this is actually just mostly adding in working drawings, dimension works. Like I said, I do like to work with CAD, but in this instance, I can actually just turn this file over to the contractor. So I actually help the client find some people to work with. And these particular people, so like I said, we're separate entities. They're going to do their own thing while I do my own thing. Uh, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to like supervise every now and then what's going on at site. But I trust them enough that I'll probably just share this file with them. It's not a big deal to me. And plus, when it comes to interior works, I'm not as strict. When it comes to like the actual building, I'm not very as open to sharing files. But in this case, it's fine. Um, and yeah, from that point, they're going to give me a quotation that we're going to present to the client, uh, and we can go ahead and begin construction works. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I know it's like I'm a bit stressful today, but let's be honest, these videos are just to put you to sleep. But until next time, guys, always take care. I hope we can always better ourselves, and bye-bye.